not all your money, not all your good looks, or all your education makes you who you are really. The thing will really make you who you are now, your name, your reputation, your integrity, your credibility as a person. And that's why it's so important not allow let somebody spoil your name. Your name itself, I'm not just talking about the physical name, but your name is embedded in your character and your personality as a person. You know, for allow let any iota of doubt touch that name, that reputation, they for soil them. It could be very damaging. So that's why everything what they do, it really hinge on who we are as a person and the perception what people get about who we are as well. So these are things where you not for play with. You name your reputation and everything. Whatever you do, not play with your reputation. And it's difficult for build a good reputation. It's very difficult for build a good name. But it's so easy for just one scandal or something very small where perhaps it might not even amount to a scandal for make it spoil your reputation where you don't build for years or spoil your good name. And anytime now we then call your name some side, the first thing where they can have people in mind, this man let me do that in there. Oh, that man they will be do so. Oh, that man wouldn't be arrested for this and all of those things. That's something we for really try to avoid. Take for example, and if you already call somebody for this and call and find name. Normally, I mean, Fode is a good name. Sanko is a good surname. We know people that will really don't do well with that surname, they would have named it. But now, because of one grain Fode Sanko and waiting me doing at this country, there is a stigma now attached to that name. So everybody would then call Fode Sanko. The first thing will come saying, oh, it's the Fode Sanko, the former RUF leader, and things like that. Or Charles Taylor, for example. So all of those names, because you just don't even get one person in history will get that name there and me do bad and a lot of bad, it means say that stigma they affect everybody else will get that name there, even if that person they're not bad. So that is how important it is. So when you go see somebody say, I don't want to let somebody spoil with family name, now that they mean yes, you want every time they call in family name some side and let people then be proud. I mean, I hope these uncles don't take any offense to this. This was just an example, but like I say, we have a lot of good uncles out there. But the point I'm really trying to make is that it's not just about the physical name with it on you as a nomenclature. It's not just that. It's also about the perception about you. So not put yourself in a situation where people, they even get the reason for doubt you. So if you're not imam or you're not pastor, and then police go raid Jamba Port and then meet you there and then get down all and carry go to police station. When you finally reach, then they say, hey, now imam nani, hey, now pastor nani, now they all encounter na police station. So then go raid that Jamba Port. The first question all man they ask you, hey, imam boy yourself, what you go do yonder? Or yourself, what you go do yonder? Because then just nobody expects say you kindly for day yonder. And that's how they say. So the places where people don't expect you for day because of the kind person where you be, don't go there. I mean, the things that people don't expect you for do because of the kind person where you be, not do them. I mean, the last thing where you really want for a arena where somebody go say, boy yourself, I don't expect you. Hey, boy yourself, what you go do yonder? Hey, boy yourself, you know for don't do yonder. Boy yourself, you know for don't do this. You kind of for don't do this. No allow let somebody tell you that, because once somebody tell you that, they tell you with the higher, with the regard it gets for you, they expect say you will not go that low for do such a thing. So that is how much you for really invest in keeping your good name, because like I say, good name very difficult for people. So don't ever put yourself in a position where people they doubt your reputation, your credibility, because these are the things that really we cherish. These are the things that we separate you from each other. If somebody call your name, let them know say, oh, this person a person of integrity, this person get caliber, this person get good name. And that good name, they can open a lot of doors for you in life, really. But if they call your name and say, this. So sometimes they can even punish you because of a certain name where you get, because somebody before you will be get similar name, they don't do something bad. So that is how important is it for all of us, for keep with good name as a unit. Keep your good name in, make sure your family get good name, make sure you protect the reputation of your family, because no man is an island. What will they pass so with the surname they will get, what will they carry, then surname they in a family they will represent. So every time you're out there, no say, I'm not just out here on my own. If I do something really bad, then go put my name on this bad, yeah, Me, I don't get bad name, my family don't get bad name. Maybe me picking myself, depending on how big a crime I commit or how bad a person I was, might be punished because of that. This is the Epic Morning Show.
Do you want to be your own boss? Or do you want to add more services to your business? Then look no further, because BNB is here for you.
What do you mean?
With BNB, you can now make money with just your smartphone. With the new revolutionary app, BNB POS, you can do remittance, bill payments, EDSA airtime top-up, and many more. All this from your smartphone, anywhere you want.
This sounds great.
That is not just all. The app also features real-time agent rebalancing and reconciliation.
Oh wow! But how can I get the BNB POS and start making my own money?
It's so simple. You can download the application on App Store or Google Play Store. Just search for BNB POS and download. Then call our customer service on 072 500 000, and within a short period of time, our agent will help you for the onboarding process.
Wow, no time to waste. Let me do this right away.
Oh yes, start making money today from anywhere in Sierra Leone. For more inquiries, contact our customer service on 072 500 000. With BNB POS, you shop my pockets.
Alright, so today we'll talk about child labor and how much it affects picking them in life. If you walk on the streets of Freetown, or a lot of them major cities, and whether it's McKinney, Kenema, you will see a lot of picking in a park, na streets, na slums, then they sell cold water, or do other things then really that they shouldn't really be doing, mostly involving work and labor. In rural communities, picking in a part of the workforce, and they carry load, help with farming a lot of the time against their own progress really. How widespread is the problem really? That's something we'll be looking at this morning. Possible cow picking from upline into a major city. So they come in this picking, and then when it comes, the picking can't on laborer. They picking the tote market, the tote different things them. They actually involve them as part of the economic workforce. Meanwhile, that kid should just be enjoying his life or her life as a kid and growing up, playing and enjoying life whilst a young. So today we'll talk to Defense for Children International, Issa Bangura, Head of the Advocacy and Communications, Francis Chiblin, Deputy Commissioner for Labor, now Minister of Labor, because we also want to know what does the law say about this. Stay with us, we'll be right back. And don't forget, the Epic Carnival will be up next month, December 16th. So we are less than 1 month to go now. So buy your tickets at 50,000 in Munjasa Park, and they will meet the ultimate mix, all sort of food, all sort of music, and so much more entertainment waiting for you. All right, welcome back. This is Epic Morning Show. Let's go straight into a conversation here this morning. Good morning, Mr. Francis.
Good morning, sir. Long time.
Yes, long time. And good morning, Mr. Bangurai. Welcome again.
Good morning, Epic. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so let me start with Una and the Ministry of Labor. According to Una own definition, really, how Una would define waiting a child labor? Let's start on that perspective.
Well, then they will give me cause for go to the law, the Employment Act, Section 95. One they talk say, you know, go take picking where they below the age of 15 for let perform work or let engage in the work in the workplace. So straight away you see say below 15 picking up for work. Then you get also because when they talk about work, you get light work, you get hazardous work. So for hazardous work, really, picking below the age of 18 enough for work day. Say, for example, for work in underground mines, you know, take picking way below the age of 18 for go work day. Or you take picking for engaging in any activity where go affect in health, safety, physical, mental, social development, or we go affecting school business. So all of those. So that made them age brackets then they. And not forget, as a country and as member of the International Labour Organization, we don't ratify two key conventions. One, 38 on minimum age, and then 182 on the worst forms of child labor. So, and as a responsible member of the international organization, we ratify the instruments and they get for take action at national level for see how you go implement the provisions of the instruments then they. So basically, now that I go say for now.
Why the age 15 instead of it go right up to 18?
Well, you get for you 15. You get for look at because when they normally develop their instruments, then they look at the age for go to school, primary, and then early secondary. So they look at and say, under normal circumstance, by the time they're 15, if you don't reach, say, for example, Becker level. So at that level, if you don't sit, you pass, two things can happen. Either you go SS, or if you don't get all the requirements, you can decide for go pursue some technical program, technical course, where, let's just say if not 2 or 3 years, by the time you don't maybe 18, then you can now go into the world of work. So then when the development instruments, they now international instruments, but at national level now, you look at your national circumstances and say, now this is the put. But the law also make provision for look at them with time for say I go increase and depending on the economic activities of the country, because as we can always say, the world of work is dynamic. You get introduction of technology in the world of work, a lot of changes that take place. So as the country they develop, even the countries, their status, they change. If they least develop, you go middle, they go up here and that. So as they change, you get for look at the law and say, I go adjust them for fit and circumstance then.
Sometimes, for example, you go see people them go give market to them picking for go sell. Or maybe their niece or something. And then it go say that is not work. It is, but in the real terms, that picking they involve in economic activity. So what's in the law they say about that?
So technically, really, we get the words they would use. You say, for employ the child, for engage or for perform work in the workplace. You see the key words there, employ. And once you talk about employ, that means there is a contract of employment right there. And when you talk about workplace, there is an employer who get control, direct or indirect, over that workman day. So these are the words where they look. So the one way they refer to fall under the category of work probably we go call as light work.
Okay.
Where the age for that now below 13 years. We all do light work. In the villages, everywhere, you go help you mommy for do a bit. That is part of child development, so that as they begin to grow, be a man or woman, if we're able to do certain domestic chores. But when you don't pass mark and now you begin go to a certain level, say for example, you make like they begin the broke stone, we get for sale, that is work, but that is not accepted. Because in the process, it go harm the picking. Say for example, you hit that stone for break arm. The pebble can fly, go hitting eye, it broke arm. So, but again, when you talk about anything and the way the parents and the made the picking, you also get to look at the circumstances where they make these families, they make them picking and they go work. Normally, you'll find out, say, poverty get a role for play.
Circumstances now, coming to circumstances, do we blame the child for that circumstance? Because sometimes the parent will say, well, this now is circumstance, and this pikin, if you not participate in me economic activities, and not go to take care of them.
No, you don't go blame the pikin. You don't say pikin. Pikin don't get sense. Now we they guide them. Now we they tell them say that this, that. Well, now that's make governments all around the world. You they come up with a number of things where you go do for see how you go address them type of things. Then they say, for example, one of the things we go associate with this child labor thing, if the parents they not get the capacity, for example, for sending them picking in a school. So like we government don't come with free education, so. That's a golden opportunity for make sure say those parents, where they in that bracket, they not go down that line for send them, picking them for go do that work. Rather, they begin and go school. You also get, for example, not only for send them to school, but for keep them in schools. School feeding program. So that's way in addressing child labor now, a holistic, comprehensive. All man they doing your own. Because if you talk about school feeding, agriculture component, they can. If you talk about basic education, business, basic and senior, even the free sanitary pads for the females, they keep them in school and not drop. Because if you drop out of school, then they make them vulnerable for become child laborers. You know? And even the worst forms of that, probably maybe subject them to prostitution, child trafficking, all of them stuff, then they will not go good. So government get responsibility for do certain things then. You know, by the various institutions that we don't establish for make sure say as a country we're able to address them things there as we go. It go difficult for abolition, maybe not in our own lifetime, but with time you go able to take steps for see how you go reduce them as you go. Yeah.
Isa, how widespread a problem is it, given that we're not in the space to sound at the work for picking them?
I think it's really wide because, for instance, the United States Department's report actually make it very clear that despite this progress in terms of laws, policies, and programs, Salone is still a country when a transit country, my destination, or a departure point when it comes to issues of child labor, which technically is a product of child trafficking. Because, for example, the practical situation are that most times, like you actually provide now you preface, that most times people bring people in from the provinces, Cowden and Freetown, with pretext for going to school or for other things, but yet still they engage in activities where also they affect their normal development cycle, just like how well our brother Senaya. So it's also very widespread because statistically, we check the record now that child labor itself is even a very serious problem, more than even child trafficking. For instance, a report published by the Anti-Human Trafficking and Migrant Smuggling by the National actually provide that child trafficking itself within countries, especially in the eastern province of Salone. For example, when you check the record for 2020, the Center for Human Trafficking Research and Outreach published that for Kenema, for Kono district, 56% of Pikine within the age bracket already discussed engaged in child labor, while in Kailaun 34% and in Kenema 29%. And when you check this adjacent with child trafficking, you notice that 46% then a Kono, we against that on child we in the context of child labor na 56%. 33% are Kailaun for child trafficking, but for child labor na 34%. 27% are Kenema district for child trafficking and 29% for child labor in Kenema district. So it basically shows that it's a silent issue where not only they affect the Pikinem, but also their families and communities.
Why is the eastern region such a hot spot for child labor or even possibly child trafficking?
Simply because the drivers of these issues much more than at the eastern part of the country. For example, issues of mining, issues like Kono district, for example, practically mining, like it's a family inheritance, like everybody, every other kid, every other child involved in the process, and the bit for avert the difficult challenges with poverty they bring. They get these families and their kids already, like it's a transitional thing for mama, grandpa, all this kind of thing. So it's a pattern, it's a cycle. And this cycle is so huge that it affects not only the development cycle of the Pikinem, but also the family sustainability as well. Because, for example, just like how they say now, so government has introduced the free quality education program. But for like that particular program be actually successful, the environment and the parenting aspect as well get to play a very key role. It's not only about providing access to education, it's also about ensuring that families get sustainable source of livelihood. We go make them able for prevent and picking them, not for involve seriously into this kind of issues, because not only they affect their education but also they put their own life at risk.
Yeah, because what they see is that family they recruit the pikin as part of the workforce. So not all the mama no more they go fenam, or not all the papa no more they go fenam, the pikin as well, and they put some part of that workforce there. And at that age they should really be going to school or just enjoying their childhood.
And interestingly enough, just like rightly like you said, interestingly enough, Salon already, like this 2020, don't develop the Anti-Human Trafficking and Migrant Smuggling Act as well. But again, we not forget, say, between 2021 and 2023, Salon also developed a national policy we get for with human trafficking, with inclusive child labor, because child labor is actually a product of human trafficking in itself. Because, for example, the Child Rights Act, you don't get no specific point in law where they talk, say, this law precisely, exclusively issue child labor. Yes, but you get adjacent provisions. And for example, Section 25 of the Child Rights Act makes provision for issues of child labor. So you don't get a precise law which define all of these principles and conduct regulating or guiding practices of child labor, but you get adjacent laws. But however, even with the existence of these laws and national policies and programs, child labor is still on the increase, and it is a concern when not only they affect, but again, also they affect the normal development cycle of the country as well. We not forget, say, this government advocated on a platform of human capital development, and the breadth where they inherit the good of this country and the beginning of this country. So practically, if the beginning not get that kind of environment for let they able revolve and recycle and development in a way where we will keep them sustainable enough for involved in these practices, then the human capital program is an issue we all get for question seriously.
And in rural communities, this could even be worse, because in Freetown or other big cities, maybe we will track. But if you look at rural communities, picking and they tote for miles, then they go with the family, maybe to farms or to mining communities and etc. etc. And it almost look legitimate in those communities. How much can they do for actually make sure this level of education also reach them?
Well, with these issues, normally it is easy for, say, A, B, C, and D, but when you come to the practicalities on the ground, that is where the challenge is. When you consider the resources, the manpower, the infrastructure, yes, my brother don't say, yes, there are laws, but you get stages in development. When you don't develop the law, the next thing, the policies and the laws, the next thing is how do you come with programs for implement. What you ask, how much don't they do? So we don't develop policy laws, as I say, the Employment Act, number 15 of 2023. We don't make sure, say, we ratify the international instruments. Then that is very key, because if you're not able to resolve a matter at national, the next thing is international. So it's important for ratify the instruments then, so that when it comes to country, you go talk, say yes. Because you don't ratify, so it's legally binding on member states.
So we don't get any shortage of law. We get enough law.
Yes, so the next step now is to implement. So 2010, what we do, we develop a decent work country program phase 1. Yeah? During that implementation, then we get one project component. Program gets a series of projects inside that program. So you get a program with a project we call tackling child labor through education. So as a result of the implementation of that program, the ILO and the Ministry of Labor, now we implement them together. And International Rescue Committee then be involved in that one. As a result of that program, we found out that they be able to withdraw certain children from the street. How they do them? Through education, and they also then address the needs of some of these families. Because you don't just say they take the pikin out of the school, they not address the needs of the parents. When that making facts, and they go to this child labor. So you don't just address the pikin yourself, you also get for address. If, for example, the parent no learn a skill in business or you not sabi anything, you empower you teach a skill. And then not only that, what in the project do, then link them to microfinance institutions so that they go get access for ensure sustainability. Because once that one day, that livelihood support they come, that one day, now a kind of means for make sure say the picking continue in school where they go. In addition to that also, with a National Technical Steering Committee. So what you make emphasize then, when you have those structures in place, like go and develop the second generation of the Decent Work Country program. So now, we're at the stage for We don't do consultancy through the ILO. They don't recruit a national consultant who could do a resource mapping strategy. Once these resources are available, we begin implement. You get foresee another opening with respect to child labor. We go bring the stakeholders for make sure say we implement some of them thing there. You know, you go develop these laws, you get this thing, but you need money, my brother. That is the stark reality. You need these resources for come and then you implement. For able for talk about child labor, well, as I always they say, you have to go out in the field. You have to be mobile. You have to do an assessment of the degree of child labor. That time they will do child labor survey, the first in this country in 2011. The time don't pass, 2011 to now, a very long time. So you're supposed to do another assessment for know the nature of child labor, the worst forms of it, what are the drivers behind it, and then you go come with interventions for see how you go address those problems.
So right now, none of that have been done yet?
Well, as I've been saying, 2011, that was the time.
That and last time we want to do one.
Yes, so now, with this new Design Work Country program, we don't get, we they try for mobilize resources. Once those resources are available, that could be the next steps for make sure, say, we do an assessment and they will continue for raise. Awareness raising is also very, very important in all of this.
Yeah.
So,
And that's it. So, Issa, this is the problem as well. So, a lot of the time, people just they blame poverty. They put all of these problems at the foot of poverty. And so, even with parents, them sometimes in rural communities, and just oh, can I go me picking a free town, like go menam, and they not really they check and progress on how them picking they do, or maybe until years later. So all of these things, how do you deal with this situation? Because poverty is also real, and then communities there outside them picking and they come out.
Yes, exactly. Now a big issue, but the reality is that it's a traditional pathway that, you know, family to like for promote unification, unity among family. The most I get that kind of opportunity for send one picking to another. For example, me, na me grandma, na amen me, you know. It's a practice. Like I used to say, the issue has to be more about monitoring, supervision, and care. Because, for example, if you take up responsibility for provide care and support to picking, you need to make sure that one day we do and well. Because it's issue about men picking. But what's really more important we need to understand also beyond finances and other issues where for address family problems, but also support government and adjacent structures for implementing program. Get to do with the fact that the UPR report, you know, the UPR report, like the Universal Periodic Review, is done periodically, and Sierra Leone was reviewed as a country in 2020, and the recommendations very clear on waiting as some of the reasons then beyond awareness raising, capacity, financing, and other issues, and family or parenting. You get other issues. When you check the data according to the UPR, investigation, prosecution, and even conviction, now a very big problem. Holistically, in 2020, we get only 7 conviction rates of issues of child trafficking. Specifically, it was from. And interestingly, all of the data will just be don't highlight. 20% of them, 20% of all of those data involve involved in the worst form of child labor. So we get for own up, take responsibility as a state, as a people, and as a country, that it is on us for make sure say we begin and safe. Otherwise, the next generation or the next future could be in a very, very difficult situation.
And you mentioned a very important point about child labor being a byproduct of child trafficking. Also, they see also they put the picking on a pathway for make them be abused as well. Picking away the total water or granite, for example. You might say, oh, this is not really labor, but because you don't put them as part of the economic workforce, they go somebody buying granite and they want to touch them in a bad way.
And there's a clear example to show that this is not the actual scene. You get, I cannot be specific because some of this stuff are classified, but I can tell you generally that every other picking in one way or the other will involve in child labor, including this issue we talk about, they are victim of one form of abuse or another. It could be sexual harassment, it could be sexual touching, it could be advances were very offensive to them person and respect as human being, especially the woman them. Let we not forget, say, the National Action Plan Against Trafficking in Person specifically focuses on women and children. We basically tell we say this set of persons, they're extremely vulnerable to abuse and exploitation. And interestingly, commercial sexual exploitation and other forms of abuse are categorized now as issues where they affect picking them, not only girl picking them, but also woman them as well. Now, even within the workforce, you get some specific set of people and where they suffer this kind of issues. And it's so serious that many people don't get that kind of courage and confidence for speak out against this issue. And now we need for make sure say we protect and guard the privacy and privileges within particular set of people we also get, so that then we'll continue for be regulated, we'll continue for protect them. And if we slow down issues of prosecution, we slow down investigation and even conviction for an issue we're serious. Based on the statistic, for an issue is serious more than child trafficking, it's a serious concern. We need for maximize our effort and plus we game for make sure say this issue is not only addressed at a face value level where we just talk about time, can already talk about time. We need for take practical action, and we need for be much more deliberate about these actions so that we go address them holistically, not so just for let we develop plan, develop policy, go and already develop law, development act. You get so many, even before we get the revised Employment Act of 2020, there were also other laws. For example, you get the Child Rights Act where we don't get from 2007. We make provisions on this issue. We get the International Convention, International Principles and Covenants. We make provision on this issue. We get the International Covenant on the International Convention on the Rights of the Child. We get the ILO Convention, just like our brother don't say so. All of these laws, Salon not ratified, don't domesticate them, but still, child labor is a serious concern. And as I said initially, Salon is not only a transit point. Salon is not only a destination. Salon is also a host country for some of these worst form of issues affecting people there.
All right, stay with me. This is the Epic Morning Show. We'll be right back after this break.
Una not ready for the biggest enjoyment this Christmas? Join the biggest household name, the #1 radio station at Salon, Epic Radio. They come with the biggest, the hottest, the finest, and the sweetest carnival title, all team mix carnival. So come and mingle with sober-minded people from different angles. Saturday, December 16th, the big carnival will take place. Now Mori don't plenty. Jam 6 o'clock evening time, everything gonna begin. Come and chill with the favorite presenter. Come take a nice picture with all the biggest celebrity there. Come and party with the Salon finest DJ Wonder, Drum Move and DJ Butu, DJ Nice, and other well-qualified DJ and back for me. Come get the ticket now for 50 millions. Now Epic Radio within a 54A off cut mode. So if you want for no more, tune to Epic Radio every day for more updates or follow we on social media for exclusive content and beaucoup surprise. Come and be part of this historical event. So join Epic Radio with all Team Mix Carnival. Epic Radio, so refreshing.
Yana Orange, we big symbols we customizing freedom. Now we glad for bring to you we new and sober offer. You inside this we one in town offer, you get the rights for pick the voice or data bundle where fits your lifestyle. Yes, now so it be. We dey make communication winner for you wangling. It no matter if you not posting with like long talk or posting with like for browse boku. You there for you. Pants up all this, you get to run number SMS where you know they pay for. We don't add the match jeeper this gladdy. You mean say better thing day for all man. Ladida there for you. Dial *889# for begin.
Orange.
If you know say you born October, also the one that we born November and December, una don't ready? Because Usaidensky Big Monty they celebrate one big beach birthday party. So make it a point of duty. Usaidensky Big Cakes they go there for court, the champagne go there wire, the music go there patter. So if you know say you born October, November and December, now you turn for shake body and the biggest beach birthday party. When a perfect arrangement, well organized, for the one that we born inside this 3 months. Come witness the sweetness, expect greatness, take picture them and chill with the celebrities. Let we jam body together. Enjoy the same birthday, now the biggest big birthday party. For the one that we born October, November and December. Tickets and they out now for sale. West Standard, now 100 millions. Couples best tickets, now 250 millions. VIP table for 6, now 1,500 millions. And VVIP table for 08, now 2,500 millions, set to December 23. Now something go be. Right now beat a phenomenally. Sharp 7 o'clock evening time. Everything gonna begin. This Battery Big Party, powered by Priority Solution and sponsored by Orange Money, BNB, Media Partners, Epic Radio, and Slick TV.
This is for action. If you don't have that, even the action the way they take can be challenged in a court of law. So for us, as ministries, department, and agency,